December 11th, 2008. In a luxury penthouse high above Manhattan, a man who served as the chairman of the Nasdaq and a pillar of the global financial community called his two sons into his private office. Bernard Madoff, then 70 years old, looked at them with exhausted eyes and delivered a confession that would shatter the global economy. His massive investment business was one big lie. He admitted it was all a giant Ponzi scheme and that $65 billion had simply evaporated. How did one man fool the smartest regulators, international banks, and Hollywood's elite for decades? He didn't just use complex math, he used human psychology. In 1960, Madoff started with just $5,000 earned from lifeguarding and installing sprinklers. He became a pioneer of electronic trading, but his real genius was creating an illusion of exclusivity. Instead of chasing clients, he often told wealthy investors his funds were full, which only made them more desperate to get in. The human touch of this tragedy is where the story gets dark. Madoff didn't just target billionaires, he committed affinity fraud, using his status to target the Jewish community, hospitals, and charities. Organizations like the Elie Wiesel Foundation and Steven Spielberg's Wunderkinder Foundation trusted him with their futures. While his legitimate brokerage sat on the 19th floor of the Lipstick Building, the fraud was managed on the secret 17th floor. There, his team used an old dot matrix printer to fabricate thousands of fake account statements. Not a single trade was ever made for his advisory clients. The money was simply sitting in a Chase Manhattan bank account used to pay out earlier investors. There were warnings. Financial analyst Harry Markopolos spent nearly a decade telling the SEC that Madoff's steady 10 to 12% returns were mathematically impossible. He told them Madoff would have to buy more options than actually existed on the market. Yet, through 6 different investigations, regulators failed to ask the right questions, acting, in Madoff's own words, like Lieutenant Columbo. The House of Cards collapsed during the 2008 financial crisis. Panic spread, and clients suddenly demanded $7 billion in redemptions. With only a fraction of that left in his account, Bernie knew the game was over. After his confession, his sons, Mark and Andrew, made the agonizing choice to report their father to the FBI. Bernie was arrested the next morning in his bathrobe. The human cost was devastating. Just days after the arrest, a French aristocrat who lost everything took his own life in his office. The tragedy eventually consumed Madoff's own family. Exactly 2 years after the arrest, his son Mark committed suicide. His other son, Andrew, died of lymphoma 4 years later, blaming the stress of the scandal for the return of his illness. Make sure to subscribe and comment next part below. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this cautionary tale.